Hello friends, welcome to Affairs Cloud Learn to Lead. This is Ashu. Today we will discuss very important current affairs of second week of September, and we will discuss between 8 to 15 September very important news. So you can see here, this is current affair weekly quiz, that is the second week. I am repeating again, this is 8 to 15th of September 2020. So we will discuss very important current affairs of 8 to 15 September. So, but before that, I want to discuss some important thing, that is the Affairs Cloud subscription. You can subscribe our Affairs Cloud current affairs, in which you will get date-wise PDFs, you will get weekly PDFs, you will also get the weekly test, you will get the monthly PDF also. There is a very important things in the monthly PDFs like banking, finance and the economy PDF. In the banking, finance and economy PDF, these are very important for the banking exam students. It means I am saying about the IBPS exam. So this is very important for the IBPS exam. And second thing, current affairs pocket PDF, that is very useful if you want to revise the current affairs. One is the question and answer PDF. So directly you can revise the question and answer form of current affairs. And one is the longest, that is the study PDF. It means there is a brief current affairs there and the detailed current affairs also there. So these are the top 100 current affairs of the month. These are the 5 PDF in the monthly. These are very useful for the students who are preparing for any type of exam. These are provided at very minimal cost. On that minimal cost, you will get extra 10% discount if you use ASH10 code. And how you will get this subscription? You can visit our website, that is affairscloud/current affairs, or you can directly go to the description box. There is a link of subscription of our current affairs. So let us start today's current affair. And here is our first question. That is, we are starting the first section, that is the national affairs. And here is our first question. Which state emerged as the most literate state in the country? So it is according to the report of Household, Social Consumption and Education in India. This report is released by National Statistical Office under the Ministry of Statistics and the program implementation. So which state topped this literacy rate? That is the Kerala. Again, the Kerala topped the literacy state in the country with the 96.2% of literacy. And second number is followed by the Delhi, and third number is by the Uttarakhand. So you have to remember just the first state, that is the Kerala. Worst state is the Andhra Pradesh. So remember this, worst state is the Andhra Pradesh. And the best state is the Kerala. Remember this. Worst state is the Andhra Pradesh, not the Bihar. Remember this. This is according to the report on the household social consumption. That is education in India. So worst state is Andhra Pradesh. Moving to next question. STEP app. STEP app stands for Student Talent Enhancement Program Application. Partnered with which ministry of to implement its gamified learning application in the tribal schools across India. So they just want to increase the interest of the students through the game platform of the learning applications. So that's why the STEP app is launched. And which ministry started this? This is the first time that any government institution is tying up with any Indian edutech startup on a monetized project, so that the students can grab this type of STEP app, and the government will enhance the activities of the gamified learning. So this is by the Ministry of Tribal Affairs. This is very important. The Ministry of Tribal Affairs partner with the edutech startup, so that they can increase the interest of the students in the gamified learning application. So what will be the benefit of the gamified learning application? By default, the increase of the interest of the students, and this will also improve the performance of students in both the schools levels and the competitive exams. Moving to the next question. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has inaugurated the Patrika Gate. Guys, mark under this question, very important section. Where is this Patrika Gate, or you can say it is in which state? So the answer is very simple. That is in Rajasthan, you can say. If you want to mark exact place, then it is the Jaipur. In Jaipur, there is a Patrika Gate. This gate actually was built by Patrika Group of newspaper on the Jawaharlal Nehru Marg in the Jaipur. So Prime Minister Narendra Modi also released 2 type of books there. That is, one is the Samvad Upanishad, and second is the Akshar Yatra. And these 2 books written by Gulab Kothari. Gulab Kothari, and he is currently the chairman of, you can see the editor-in-chief of the Rajasthan Patrika Group and the chairman of Patrika Group of newspaper. So there is a Patrika newspaper, that's why there is a name Patrika Gate. So it is in Rajasthan, exact place is the Jaipur. So remember this. Moving to our next question. Which company becomes first PSU in the power sector to undertake asset monetization through infrastructure investment trust model? Now it is very important, that is the infrastructure investment trust model. What is that? Under this, the trusts that manage income generating infrastructure assets, typically offering investors a regular yield and a liquid method of investing in infrastructure project. It means the company will suggest their partners to invest in this infrastructure and they will generate the income through this infrastructure investment. So this is the basic mean of the asset monetization through infrastructure investment trust. So in simple words, you can say we are investing in a infrastructure and it will create an income for us. So it means that this is the infrastructure investment trust model. And who become the first PSU of the government who want to invest in the infrastructure investment trust model? That is the very important question and very simple answer. That is Power Grid Corporation of India's Limited. Power Grid Corporation of India's Limited. So I repeated 2 times because the answer is very important, and they want to invest under the CapEx model. What is CapEx? That is the capital expenditure. The expenditure which is good for the company or the economy, that is the capital expenditure, because the expenditure which is creating income known as the capital expenditure. There is a opposite to this, that is the revenue expenditure, which is not creating income but it is an obligation on you, or you can say it is burden on you, that is the revenue expenditure. So Power Grid Corporation of India want to come under the asset generation model, so that's why they use this money in the capital expenditure. So moving to next question. Who inaugurated first World Solar Technology Summit? This is very important question, mark under very important section, and it is inaugurated by Shri Narendra Modi ji. Why this type of the World Solar Technology Summit organized? Because it is just to focus on new technology and innovation in the field of the solar. So who organized this World Solar Technology? It is organized by ISA, that is the International Solar Alliance, and the FICCI, that is the Federation of Indian Chambers of Commerce and Industry. Now the organization is very important, that is the International Solar Alliance, because it was started by the India at international level. It was at Paris Agreement of 2015 that India enhanced this type of the project so that the renewable energy focus can be increased at the world level. So it is the International Solar Alliance. Modi ji also launched a first journal of the solar energy, that is the Solar Compass 360 degree. Solar Compass, that is the journal, you can say it is a type of a magazine, that is the Solar Compass 360 degree. So moving to our next question. Which railway station will be renamed as Shri Siddharoda Swamiji Railway Station? And the state is Karnataka and the station name is the Hubali Railway Station. You can say Hubli Railway Station. Shri Siddharoda Swamiji Railway Station. It is also known as Hubli Railway Station, or you can say the Hubali Railway Station. Remember this, mark under important section. Now moving to next question. Prime Minister Narendra Modi launched a Pradhan Mantri Matsya Sampada Yojana and e-Gopala app. There are 2 things, that is the Pradhan Mantri Matsya Sampada Yojana. What is the Pradhan Mantri? That is the Matsya Sampada Yojana. So it is just to double the fish export in the next 3 to 4 years. So it is main focus to provide the new infrastructure, modern equipment, new market of the fish products. So it is also launched under the 21 states with an investment of almost 20,000 crore rupees. And this investment will be spent in the next 4 to 5 years. And now it is launched in the state of Bihar. So it is just to increase the fish production so that we can increase the fish export. So it is the main purpose of the Pradhan Mantri Matsya Sampada Yojana. And next there is a e-Gopala app. Now what is the e-Gopala app? It is just to increase the breed improvement marketplace, or you can say it is an online digital medium that will help the farmers to choose better quality livestock and get freedom from the middleman. So there is a name Gopala. It means who are the guardian of the livestock, or you can say Palanhara of the cows. So that's why there is a name of the Gopala. So you have to remember this Gopala, and remember also the Pradhan Mantri Matsya Sampada Yojana, and the state is Bihar. Moving to next question, which department launches 5-star village scheme? So there are 5 indicators. If the village is completed with the 3 indicator, then it is known as 3-star village. If the village completed 5-star, it means 5 indicator, then it is known as the 5-star village. So this is mean of the 5-star village scheme. So the 5 indicators are like Sukhanya Samriddhi accounts or the PF accounts, you can say, funded post saving accounts, postal life insurance policy, Pradhan Mantri Suraksha Bima Yojana, saving bank account. So if the village is completed with the 3 indicator, it is known as 3-star. If they completed 5-star, 5 indicator, then it is known as the 5-star villages. And this scheme is launched by Department of Post. You can remember this, that is the Department of Post. Because all the 5 indicators are related to the Department of Post, that's why it is started by the Department of Post. And you have to remember this, Department of Post comes under the Union Minister of Communication. And who is Union Minister of Communication? That is Ravi Shankar Prasad. Who is Director General of Post? That is Vineet Pandey. Remember this also. Who is Director General of that is Department of Post is the Vineet Pandey. Moving to our next question. What is a new FDI limit in the defense sector which is recently increased by the union government? This is very important because in the defense sector, they want to boost the Make in India concept. Recently, our defense minister, that is Rajnath Singh, cancelled so many contracts with the foreign companies so that we can make these products related to defense sector in India. So it will boost Make in India, and the program is going on, that is the Atmanirbhar Bharat will also boost by this. And the answer is 74%. Before that it was 49%, but now it is 74%. Now the foreign company can make more investment in India so that they can produce the maximum to maximum equipments related to the defense sector. What about the Ministry of Defense? Union Minister is the Rajnath Singh. Minister of State is Shripad Yesso Naik ji. Now moving to the next question, and next question is, which ministry launched a dispute resolution mechanism, that is the Srod Ports? Now, what is the meaning of this Srod? That is the Society for Affordable Redressal of the Dispute Ports. That is, it means this ports committee, or you can say that is the mechanism formed just to resolve the dispute of the related to the ports, or the mechanism related to the ports, or you can simply say that to fairly resolve dispute in an affordable and timely manner, to reach the dispute redressal mechanism with the panel of technical experts at arbitrator. So there will be the technical expert committee which will resolve the dispute or related to the ports. And it is very simple. This is launched by which ministry? This is released by the Ministry of Shipping. And who is currently the Minister of Shipping? That is the Mansukh L. Mandalviya. So you have to remember that is the Mansukh L. He is currently the Minister of Shipping. Moving to our next question. 5 Rafale aircraft inducted into which squadron of the Indian Air Force? Rafale inducted under the Golden Arrows Air Squadron. That is also known as the Air Force 17 number squadron. You have to remember the name, that is the 17th squadron. It is also known as the Golden Arrows, and Rafale bought from the France. So you have to remember this also. We ordered 36 Rafale jets to France, but we just received 5 Rafales. And who was present at that time from Germany? It was the Minister of the France Armed Forces, that is the Florence Parly. This is very important question. Who was present from the part of the Germany? That is the Minister of French Armed Forces, that is Florence Parly. Just remember this Parly. And the squadron is known as the Golden Arrows, in which this is inducted. And this Rafale landed over the Ambala Air Base in the Haryana. Moving to our next question, which state will host 13th edition of the Aero India 21? In every, you can say in every year, Aero India 21 is launched, or you can say Aero India 21 exhibition took place in same state. Every year, same state. So you have to remember this is the universal question. And Aero India is a biennial air show and aviation exhibition always held in Bengaluru, that is in Karnataka. So remember this, that is Karnataka, Aero India 21, that is Bengaluru, Karnataka. And it is organized by the Ministry of Defense under the Defense Exhibition Organization, and it is the Asia's largest aero show. It is the Asia's largest aero show. Who is the Chief of Air Staff? That is the Air Chief Marshal Rakesh Singh Bhaduria. You have to remember this, Rakesh Singh Bhaduria. So the Bengaluru, Karnataka. Moving to our next question. What is the rank of India in the Economic Freedom of the World Index 2020? And India has very poor rank. And this report is prepared by the Canada Fraser Institute. That is the Fraser Institute who prepared this type of report. And according to this report, how much India is granting freedom to the companies, so the economic freedom to the countries, or you can say the companies, so that they can establish their business in India. And what is the rank of India? India's rank is 105th rank. That is very poor rank of India. And total countries are 162. And most favorable country, you can say, under the economic freedom of the world index, or you can say first rank, that is goes to the Hong Kong. So remember this. How you will remember this? That is Economic Freedom Globe Index, EFGH, and Economic Freedom Globe, that is the Hong Kong. So remember the first country and India's rank, you have to remember, that is 105. Remember this. Moving to our next question, which state emerged as the best state or UT in providing strong ecosystem for startups in India? And every year this state ranks first, and this state is Gujarat, friends. Gujarat emerged as the best performer among the category X. I already told you that there are two categories, that is category X and Y. Category X means all the states and the New Delhi. But this doesn't include the union territories and the northeastern states. And category Y includes the northeastern states, and the union territories, but not include the north, that is the New Delhi. So under the category Y, that is the Andaman Nicobar, because you have to just remember, in the states there is a Gujarat who provide the best ecosystem for startups, and under the UTs there is a Andaman Nicobar who provide the best ecosystem for the startups. So this is very important, guys. Remember this, that is the ecosystem for startups. In literacy, Kerala is the first and the Andhra Pradesh is the worst. And in startup ecosystem, Gujarat is the first, and the worst performer is the no state is the worst performer, because there is a no worst category under this. So remember this, just the best category, you can say Gujarat, and in the UTs there is Andaman and Nicobar. Nagaland was placed in the aspiring leader category. So there are so many categories. You don't have to remember which category, just remember the Gujarat and the Andaman Nicobar. Moving to our next question, which ministry launched the Climate Smart Cities Assessment Framework 2.0 along with the Streets for People Challenge? So why this framework is launched? That is the Climate Smart City Assessment Framework 2.0. That is just launched because they want to provide a roadmap for the cities for combating climate change while planning and implementing their actions, so that they can control the climate actions by planning and implementing the actions of the roadmap of the cities, or you can say roadmap of the smart cities. And now, what is the Streets for People Challenge? This is just to make cities more pedestrian friendly. Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs has initiated Streets for People Challenge to develop a unified vision of streets in consultation with the stakeholders and citizens. Anyone can participate in this. The challenge is open to all cities under the Smart City Mission, any capital city of the state or the UTs, and cities with the population of more than the 5 lakh. So they can participate under this program, that is the Streets for People Challenge. You can share your ideas so that we can make the cities more pedestrian friendly. So it is started by the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. The answer is very simple. Answer is D. And who is the Minister of Housing and Urban Affairs? Minister of State Independent Charge is the Hardeep Singh Puri. Remember this, Hardeep Singh Puri is currently the Minister of Housing and Urban Affairs. So this is all for the national news. Now moving to our international affairs section. So here is our first news. Which countries will collaborate with India for the 5G technology? Because everyone is abandoning China, so that's why many countries are tying up for the 5G technology, and these countries are who are tying up with India for the 5G technology is USA and Israel. So you have to remember which two countries are tying up with India for the 5G technology, because every country rejected Huawei the offer, so that they can build the 5G technology by itself. So India collaborated with USA and Israel. So remember this. Moving to our next question. Which organization will lead the procurement and supply of COVID-19 vaccine? Mark under very important section. Which organization? It is not WHO. WHO will help to procure this type of the COVID-19 vaccine, but it will be procured by UNICEF. And you have to remember one thing about the UNICEF. UNICEF is the world's largest single vaccine buyer. It procures more than 2 billion doses of the various vaccines annually for routine immunization and the outbreak response of nearly 100 countries. So this is very a social kind of thing by the UNICEF. And UNICEF also said that the procurement coordinator to support purchase of 80 higher income economies. It means the 80 higher income companies or the economies will support the UNICEF to buy or the procure this COVAX. It means the COVID-19 vaccines. And COVAX facility will be open to all the countries, and it will ensure that no country is left without access to a future of COVID-19 vaccine. So this is very important, and it is a UNICEF responsibility now to distribute this vaccine to every country. So remember this is UNICEF, not the WHO. Where is the headquarter of UNICEF? Headquarter is the New York, United States of America. And who is the executive director of UNICEF? That is the Henrietta H4A. Henrietta, you have to remember just Henrietta of the UNICEF. Where is the headquarter of WHO? That is Geneva. European Union headquarter is in the Brussels, that is in Belgium. WTO headquarter is in Geneva. So moving to next question. Which country with India hold first trilateral dialogue on economic strategic challenges in the Indo-Pacific? So why these countries tie up with India, or why India tie up with these countries? Because they want to reduce the intervention of the China in the Indo-Pacific area. So that's why these three countries collaborated with each other. And these three countries are India, Australia and France. They tie up for the economic partnership. They also want to reduce the Chinese intervention in the Indo-Pacific area. So for the Indo-Pacific, there is a Australia and France. And for the 5G technology, there is a USA and the Israel. So remember this also. Moving to our next question. India and which country signed an agreement concerning reciprocal provision of supplies and services, or acquisition and cross-servicing agreement between the armed forces of India and the self-defense forces of the country? Now, in the simple language, you can simply say that India and which country will provide the assistance of their ports for each other air forces or the armed forces. So it means the country which India tie up can use the Indian ports, and the India can use their ports for the armed forces or the self-defense forces. So it is Japan. So remember, Japan will use Indian ports like Andaman Nicobar port, Lakshadweep port, and India will use the Japanese ports, so that they can again reduce the Chinese conflict, or they can reduce the Chinese intervention. Now moving to our next question. 2+2 intersessional meeting was held between which country? The keyword is important, is 2+2. Now what is the meaning of 2+2? So this is the highest level, means highest ministerial level institutional mechanism between India and the USA that brings together perspective of the two countries on foreign policy, defense and strategic issues. There are two very important things. One is the foreign policy, and second is the defense sector. That's why there is no news that is 2+2. And always remember, this 2+2 is between India and the USA. It is also in between India and Australia, but very importantly, it was held for the India and the USA. And it was started by the Sushma Swaraj ji, but now it is preceded by the S. Jaishankar ji. So 2+2 is the India and the USA. So it is the two countries. So both A and C. So answer will be both A and C. D will be the answer. So moving to our next question. And what is the time period of ASEAN-India plan of the action recently announced under ASEAN-India ministerial meeting? So there was a trade between the India and the ASEAN countries, and also there is a action plan known as the ASEAN-India action plan. So it was also going on from 2015 to 2020, but now the time period is over, and they again signed that India-ASEAN plan. And what are other main objectives of the ASEAN and India tie-up? So they can process in the areas of maritime cooperation, connectivity, education capacity building, people-to-people contacts, every type of area they can collaborate with the ASEAN countries. And the discussions also held to strengthen cooperation to fight COVID-19 pandemic with the ASEAN countries. So this is very important between the ASEAN and India, and the time period is what, 2021 to 2025. So it is between ASEAN and India. But the chairmanship of ASEAN 2020 lies with the Vietnam. So remember this. And where is the secretariat of the ASEAN? That is in the Jakarta, Indonesia. You have to remember how many member countries are of the ASEAN. There are 10 countries of the ASEAN. India is not member of ASEAN. So remember this also. There is a one observer of ASEAN. That is the Papua New Guinea. Remember this. North of the Australia, there is a small island that is known as the Papua New Guinea. Moving to our next question. International bullion exchange will be established in which city? Mark under very important section. This is very important question, guys. International bullion exchange will be established in which city? and it will be established in the Gandhi Nagar. What is the function of the this international bullion exchange? You can trade the gold, silver, and the precious metal at the international bullion exchange. So this is very important because it is the first time that international bullion exchange is opened in India, and it will be opened by IFSCA, that is the International Financial Service Center Authority, that is also in the Gift City. Gift City is known as the Gandhinagar. So remember this also. And who is the head of the Gift City? That is the IFSCA. That is the Injeti Srinivas. Remember this, Injeti Srinivas. So this is all about the international affairs. And now moving to our next section, that is the banking and finance and the economy business. Himachal Pradesh signed a $82 million, it means approximately 600 crore loan deal with which organization to support Himachal Pradesh strengthen its transport and road safety institution. So it is very simple that Himachal Pradesh want to strengthen its transport and road safety. That's why they signed a memorandum of understanding, or you can say a loan agreement deal with which international organization. So they just want to improve the condition, safety, resilience and engineering standard of the state road network. It means the Himachal road network, and it is signed with the, that is World Bank. You can say IBRD. It can be asked by this name, International Bank for Reconstruction and Development. This is a old name of the World Bank. So remember this, this loan 600 is not a grant, it is a loan, and it is given by the World Bank. So remember this, and it is for the 15 years, and there is a 5 years of grace time period, but you don't have to remember this time period. Just remember World Bank give a loan assistance to the Himachal Pradesh for the road safety and institutions. Move to our next question. Which bank has launched an international contactless debit card, signature Visa debit card for the high net worth individual? So remember this, who are appearing in the IBPS exams and the SBA exam, and also in the RRB mains. So remember this, this is very important news. Which bank has launched an international contactless debit card? One feature is it is contactless. Second, its name is the signature Visa debit card. So it is also a Visa, it is also a debit card for high net worth individuals. So it is a niche banking. It is also known as the niche banking or the niche banking. It is just to target one type of the people or one type of the category, then it is known as the niche. So it is the net worth individuals, for the high net worth individual. That's why it is known as the niche banking. So the people who are managing maintaining an average quarterly balance of rupees 10 lakhs and above, so they can be issued as a signature debit card. They can fulfill their demands and their social obligations by this signature Visa debit card, and it is started by the Bank of India, guys. Remember this, Bank of India. Bank of India headquarter, that is in Mumbai, Maharashtra. Managing director is Atanu Kumar Das. You have to remember this, Atanu Kumar Das. That is Bank of India. And tagline is very important, guys. Remember this, write this, that the relationship beyond banking is the tagline of Bank of India. A relationship beyond banking. Now moving to our next question. Which company entered into online insurance broking business to provide digital services to the customer of its insurance brokerage through Pay Bima portal? It means they are providing now online Bima, the online insurance, and this company is Mahindra Insurance Brokers Limited. So now they will act as a middleman so that they can provide the best insurance policy to the customers, and they will charge some type of the brokerage, and it will be the Mahindra Insurance Brokers Limited, and their portal is known as the Pay Bima portal. So remember Mahindra and the Pay Bima. These two words will clear your answer. And where is the headquarter of Mahindra? That is in Mumbai, Maharashtra. Moving to our next question. National Skill Development Corporation announced a partnership with which company to provide access to free learning resources for imparting digital skills to youth? So why this pact between the National Skill Development Corporation and the company signed? Because they want to access to free learning resources in the digital skill system to the youth for enhancing employability, so that maximum to maximum employability can be generated. Because according to the company, Indian professionals with digital skills are more in demand. So that's why they just want to create a digital skill in the youth by these free learning programs. And this company is the LinkedIn. So remember this, LinkedIn signed this project with the National Skill Development Corporation. And where is the headquarter of the LinkedIn? That is in California, United States of America. And where is the headquarter of this National Skill Development Corporation? This is the government organization and headquarter is in New Delhi. And who is currently the Chief Executive Officer of National Skill Development? That is the Manish Kumar. If you want to remember, then remember. Otherwise, it is not very important. But it is Manish Kumar. So moving to our next question. RBI seized banking operations of which bank? Recently, RBI seized one bank operations, and this is very important because that bank is failing and not fulfilling the customer demands and not fulfilling the RBI guidelines. And that bank is Aditya Birla Idea Payment Bank. So in the Aditya Birla Idea Payment Bank, 51% share lies with the that is the Vodafone Idea company, and 49% lies with the Grasim. So that's why this payment bank now seized any type of operation by the RBI. So this is very important. So recently, if they ask, then mark the answer Aditya Birla Idea Payment Bank. Moving to our next question. Government of India and which bank signed a $500 million loan agreement for the Delhi Meerut RRTS investment project? This is very important question. Mark under very important because this is very important. Delhi Meerut regional rapid transport system. Because you saw the metros like in the Delhi, Chennai, but they are just the within the state. But this is the regional rapid transport. It means you want to go from Delhi to UP, then you can use this type of the regional rapid transit system, and it is like type of a metro. It is type of a metro system. And who is providing investment under this project? And this is Asian Development Bank. So remember guys, Asian Development Bank. Where is the headquarter of Asian Development Bank? That is in the Manila, Philippines. And how many countries are member of Asian Development Bank? These are 68. And who is currently the president? That is the Mast Sugu. That is the Mast Sugu. So remember this. President of the ADB, that is the Asian Development Bank. And now this is the 82 kilometer, that is the Delhi Meerut, you can say Uttar Pradesh RRTS corridor. It is a first of its kind in India, will improve regional connectivity and mobility in the national capital region. So this is very important for the Delhi as well as for the Uttar Pradesh. Moving to our next question. What will be the minimum tenure of a chief compliance officer? Not a chief, this is not a chief, it is a chief compliance officer. So remember this, this is very important if you are appearing for the banking exam like IBPS and the SBI. So that's why there is a economy and business section, because IBPS students or the banking students are demanding from a long time that sir, please make a video on the only for the banking students. So that's why I am covering this economy section. So first of all, you have to know about what is the Chief Compliance Officer. So RBI ensured that there will be a Chief Compliance Officer in every bank, so that they can ensure the uniformity and effective management of compliance risk in the banking sector. So this is very important because RBI recently released the guidelines for the compliance function in the banking and role of the Chief Compliance Officer. RBI also suggested the guidelines related to the appointment of Chief Compliance Officer, that they said that he or she must be a senior executive of the bank, preferably in the rank of the general manager or equivalent position, and with no vigilance case or adverse observation from the RBI should be pending against the candidate. So first of all, at the rank of the general manager, not less than at the rank of the general manager. Second, no vigilance case pending against him, and CCO should be recruited from the market, and the minimum time period can be of 3 years minimum. This is guys minimum time period, and the age should not be more than 55 years, not more than, should be 55 years, not less than, it is not more than 55 years. So remember this, no vigilance case, minimum to minimum qualification is the general manager of the bank, and it should be recruited from the market, not from any corporate agency. So it is time period is minimum for the 3 years. So remember this, Chief Compliance Officer. So moving to next question, and it is not a question, it is just information that Vodafone and Idea changed its logo, that is the VI. It is pronounced as the V. So remember this, VI stands for the V. Together for tomorrow, remember this. And this is the Vodafone Idea collaboration. Moving to next question. SBI collaborated ACI Universal Payment System. This is the global payment solution software company, also known as ACI Worldwide, a global provider of real-time digital payment software and solution, has now tied up with State Bank of India so that they can modernize the payment method of the SBI. So just remember, SBI tied up with which company for modernizing its payment switching system, so that cardless payment system like POS scale machines, like ATM machines, so they can modernize this type of system according to the new times. So they tie up with the ACI Worldwide, that is a global provider of the real-time digital payment software. So remember this. Move to our next question, and it is again from picture. Just remember one thing in the question, that RBI accepts the guidelines of the that is the Kamath panel. So many students marks there is a Kamalnath panel. No, there is not a Kamalnath panel. It is a Kamath panel. And why this panel was important? Because it specify the parameters for loan reconstruction, so that to decrease the NPAs, and if there is a NPA, how we can reconstruct this asset. So there should be asset management companies, so that they can reconstruct the asset, and NPA can be reduced. So this is mainly the function of the Kamath panel. You just remember, RBI accepts the Kamath panel reports for the loan reconstruction. Moving to our next question. Who launched Magnum Children Benefit Fund, an open-ended fund for parents to invest to their children? So this is very important. Who just want to secure the life of the children. The SBI Mutual Fund started this type of facility. So there is a lock-in period of 5 years, or until the child attains the age of 18. You can choose anyone, whichever is earlier. So the child, you can save the money for the your child, and it is started by the SBI Mutual Fund. It is known as that is an open-ended fund for parents to invest their child, that is known as Magnum Children Benefit Fund. It is also known as SBI Magnum Children Benefit Fund, but the examiner will not mark the SBI in the question. So remember this Magnum Children Benefit Fund. Move to our next question. Who inaugurated doorstep banking services by the public sector banks? And it is inaugurated by our finance minister, that is Nirmala Sitharaman ji. So remember this. What is meaning of the doorstep banking? So that every service of the bank can be reached at your home, or it can be by the manually service, it can be through your mobile phone. So maximum to maximum chances it can be through your mobiles. So it is the doorstep banking, and it is through the by the public sector bank. It is started by the Nirmala Sitharaman ji. Move to our next question. Who launched Central Bank Digital Currencies Testing Platform, a virtual testing environment for the central banks? So why this digital currencies testing platform is launched? Because maximum countries, or you can say the 5 or 6 countries launched some type of the virtual system of the currency, that you can say that is the virtual currency system. So that India also want to test that type of the virtual currency, so that due to COVID-19 they can use this type of currency. So there is a testing platform. It is a just an environment for the central banks to assess and explore national digital currencies. And this platform is launched by the MasterCard, and even MasterCard will also allow central bank to evaluate these currencies, so that they can use this strategy for this type of the virtual payment system. Many countries recently launched some type of the virtual currency, or you can say digital currency, like Uruguay, that is launched a digital currency known as the e-peso, and Bahamas also launched, that is the Project Sand Dollar. So it is by the Bahamas. And Sweden, that is the e-krona. This is very important. E-krona. This is by the Sweden. And ERMB by the China. RMB, that is the national currency of the China. So you can say ERMB by the Bank of China. So Indian digital rupee is still under research stage. So to test this Indian virtual currency, there is a platform, that is the digital currency testing platform, and it is launched by the MasterCard. And MasterCard invited maximum banks in the India, so that they can test the virtual currency in India. So it is by the MasterCard. So you just remember, India can also launch this digital payment system or the digital currency notes by the MasterCard. So moving to next question. Which life insurance company has partnered with NSDL Payment Bank to offer insurance product? I already told you, if any type of insurance company tying up with any bank, then it means insurance company want to sell their products to the bank customers. And the company is ICICI Prudential. They want to sell their products, insurance product, to the NSDL Payment Network. And there is a ICICI Prudential and ICICI Lombard. They signed up with the Yes Bank. SBI Insurance Company also signed up with the Yes Bank, and HDFC Insurance also signed up with the Yes Bank. So these three companies, three banks, you can say three insurance companies tie up with the banks. This Yes Bank only. Move to our next question. Which leading financial solution company launched a tech-enabled service that is the cash advance, a collateral-free line of credit for the businesses? Due to COVID-19, businesses are shutting up. So that's why there is a collateral-free line to credit for the business. So they just get the credit from this financial company, and the company name is the Razorpay. So cash advance is just a short-term credit line to improve the cash flow of the business by providing easy, instant and less stressful financial purposes. The business without high credit score or other requirements can also avail short-term loans from this cash advance system of the Razorpay financial solution company. And what is the credit limit under the cash advance? This cash advance, the credit limit is 50,000 rupees to 10 lakh rupees, and it can be purchased, or you can say it can be availed through Razorpay online website, or you can say by going the Razorpay solution company area. But the time period of the loan is very less, that is between 6 or the 12 months, just for half yearly or the yearly purpose. So it is by the Razorpay. Moving to our next question. Which bank launched its comprehensive banking program for the startup named iStartup? So the any type of company want to use the money for the startup, then they can use the system of the this iStartup platform, and it is started by the ICICI. How will ICICI Bank support these startups? ICICI Bank will fulfill the requirements of the startups like regulatory assistance, staffing, acquisition, digital outreach of customers, or you can say any type of the money problem. Then the ICICI will reduce the problems of the startup. So that's why there is a problem. I startup, that is I means ICICI. So remember this, ICICI 2.0. Next is, which bank will launch a loan product called SAFAL? SAFAL stands for Safe and Fast Agricultural Loan. But it is not for all the agricultural farmers. It is just for the organic cotton growers. It is only for the cotton growers. So SBI will create a database who are the organic cotton growers, and any buyer of this cotton around the world can check if the farmer is actually growing organic cotton or not. Through the collected data, SBI provides credit linkage facility. So it means this SAFAL loan system is just for the cotton growers, or you can say organic cotton growers. So a company has brought all the organic cotton growers and created a database on the basis of the blockchain technology. So any buyer of this cotton around the world can check if the farmer is actually growing organic cotton or not. It means they will make a portal, and all the organic farmers are registered under this, and anyone all over the world want to buy organic cotton, they can check this portal and can see if there is any organic cotton grower near his area, so that they can buy the cotton. And SBI is providing the linkage facility and also providing the credit, and this is started by the SBI. So remember this, safe and fast agricultural loan. This is very important because you have to remember this word SAFAL. Moving to our next question. NASSCOM Future Skills, with which company launched artificial intelligence classroom series for students in India, so that maximum to maximum students can reach the digital ability? And this is a tie-up of the NASSCOM and the Microsoft, and they will teach, or you can say they will enhance the artificial intelligence skills to overall 10 lakh students in India. So target of 10 lakh students and 2.5 crore people across the world. So this is the artificial classroom series by the Microsoft and NASSCOM, so they can improve the skills of the youth in the artificial intelligence, or you can say machine learning system. So moving to our next question. According to SEBI, asset management company will now have to invest how much of their portfolios across large cap, mid cap and the small cap companies each? So what are the large cap, mid cap or the small cap companies? Large cap companies means total market capitalization is above 20,000 crore. That is the large cap. If the market capitalization is between 5,000 crore to 20,000 crore, that is a mid cap, and small cap is below the 5,000, or you can say the new startups are also comes under the small capital or the small cap companies. Large cap is also, you can say, first 100 companies, and this is 100 first to 250 companies. This is more than 250 companies. The rank of the companies above than 250. This is the small companies, this is the medium companies, and these are the large companies. So SEBI just recommended that asset management management companies of the NPAs will now have to invest how much of their portfolio across large cap, mid cap, and the small cap, and there is a limit of 25%. So you have to minimum investment in the large cap is 25%, medium cap is the 25%, and small cap is the 25%, and rest of 25% in any of the large cap, mid cap, and the small cap. But this is a minimum limit. It means total limit is the 75%. Remember, the examiner can ask the total limit, that is the 75%. So remember this. Move to our next question. Liberty General Insurance Limited has partnered with which airline to offer Liberty secured travel and insurance policy to customers? And this is with the airline of SpiceJet. So what is under this policy? That is the Liberty Secure Travel Insurance Policy. It is a new zero cancellation service of Liberty offered under the policy. Enable the passenger to cancel the ticket and claim 100% full reimbursement of the cancellation charges if the customer are unable to fly due to any unavoidable circumstances. So due to COVID-19, many passengers are dealing with the non-refundable schemes of the airlines. So but now SpiceJet started with the Liberty General Insurance Company is new zero cancellation service. So there will be full 100% reimbursement of the cancellation charges if the customer are unable to fly due to any unavoidable circumstances. So but this is applicable across the domestic network of SpiceJet, not the international network of the SpiceJet. So when you are booking ticket, there is a option of the Liberty Secure Travel Insurance Scheme. So you have to just pay an additional nominal fee and add the insurance cover while booking the flight ticket. So only for a flight booking which is made in advance, not beyond 90 days, the passenger with zero cancellation insurance can claim the full cancellation fees reimbursement. So remember this is the SpiceJet who started with the Liberty General Insurance Policy, that is a new zero cancellation service. So remember this. Moving to our next question. Which company became the first Indian company to hit $200 billion market capitalization? Remember this news as this question is, that is the Reliance Industries. Reliance Industries become the first Indian company to hit $200 billion market capitalization. Moving to our next question. ICICI Lombard Insurance Company Limited has entered to bancassurance tie-up with which bank? I already told you. ICICI Lombard Insurance tie-up with the Yes Bank. SBI Insurance also tie-up with the Yes Bank, and HDFC Insurance, HDFC Life Insurance also tie-up with the Yes Bank. So 3 insurance company tie-up with the Yes Bank. So they want to sell their insurance product to the Yes Bank customers. So this is our economy section, and now we are moving to awards and recognition section. So here is our first question. Who is honored with Indira Gandhi Peace Prize 2019? Mark under very important section. You can say it is the most important question under the award section, that who is honored with Indira Gandhi Peace Prize, and maximum time Indira Gandhi Peace Prize asked in the banking exam. So remember this, it is Sir David Attenborough. Who is Sir David Attenborough? He is British broadcaster, and this award give him a 25 lakh rupees cash and a citation also, but 25 rupees cash under the Indira Gandhi Peace Prize 2019. So remember this, Indira Gandhi Peace Prize 2019 to Sir David Attenborough. Moving to our next question. Which film won the Best Screenplay Award in the 77th Venice International Festival that held in Italy? And this is the Best Screenplay Award in the 77th Venice International Film Festival. And the name of the film is The Disciple. This is a Marathi film and it is directed by Chaitanya. It is directed by Chaitanya. So remember this, directed by Chaitanya. Marathi film, name is The Disciple, won the Best Screenplay Award in the 77th Venice International Film Festival. There is one more question under the 77th Venice International Film Festival. Which film won the Golden Lion Award? Golden Lion Award is the best award under this International Film Festival category, and this is won by the Nomadland. So remember this film is Nomadland, but the Indian movie is The Disciple and it is the Marathi movie. So there are 2 news only in the award section. Now moving to the state news, and here is first news. Which state inaugurated or launched the country's first integrated air ambulance service? And this state is the Karnataka, because there is a air ambulance so that you can travel to any place, and it will provide the medical enhancement in the state. So there is a air ambulance service in the Karnataka. Next question. First ever cannabis medicine project to set up in the which state or UT with collaboration of the Canada? This is very important. And why this cannabis medicine project is startup? Because there is a special permission is yet to be obtained to produce the pain relief medicine for patients who are suffering from cancer, diabetes, etc. using cannabis, which is otherwise prohibited to use because of the narcotic drug abuse. You can see in the news now with the Deepika Padukone, Shraddha Kapoor, and the Sara Ali Khan, or with the Sushant case, you can see the use of the cannabis is prohibited, but it can be used in very less amount so that they can cure the patients of the cancer or the diabetes. So this is very useful in this type of the system to cure the cancer or diabetes or other cureless diseases. So the state is Jammu and Kashmir. This is the first time that cannabis medicine project to be set up in the state of the UT of the Jammu and Kashmir. Moving to next question. Which state government launched Sampurna Poshan to provide nutritious food to the pregnant woman? And this scheme is also known as YSR Sampurna Poshan. So it is started by the Andhra Pradesh, because there is a YSR. So it is very important because YS Jagan Mohan Reddy launched this type of scheme, that is the Sampurna Poshan, to provide nutritious food not only to pregnant women, it is also to the pregnant women, new mothers and the children, so that maximum to maximum malnutrition problem can be eliminated, or the nutritious food can be given to the pregnant women, new mothers and the children to cover the Poshan Abhiyan of the center government. So there will be no one with lack of nutritious food in Andhra Pradesh. So remember this, Andhra Pradesh. Move to next question. Which state government launched first of its kind educational chatbot Aapka Mitra, that is online admission platform for the undergraduate courses, and that state is the Haryana. So there is a online chatbot, that is the Aapka Mitra, which will provide assistance to students to take admission in the undergraduate courses. So if you have any query related to your courses, related to any type of the courses related to undergraduate courses, you can ask under the Aapka Mitra chatbot box. So remember this Aapka Mitra, it is a chatbot and it is started by Haryana to help the students who want to take admission in the undergraduate courses. Move to next question. The UK-India Business Council renewed its memorandum of understanding with state government for the industrial development of the state. The project is already going with the UK-India business. The state government renewed this type of the project with the UK-India Business Council, and the state is Telangana. Why this project was signed? It was signed due to the industrial development of the Telangana state. So that's why this is signed. So it is very important that UK India Business Council, that is the International Business Council, signed a state agreement with the Telangana so that they can develop the industrial in the state. Which state government launched online portal for filling the consumer claim? This is the first time that any state or the UT in India started this type of the online portal for the customer complaints. This is very new type of the portal and it is started by the Delhi. Arvind Kejriwal started this type of online portal for filling the consumer complaints. So if you have any complaint regarding any type of facility you are not provided with, then you can complain on this online platform, and it is started by the Delhi government. Which state government signed a MOU with the United Nations World Food Program for Take Home Ration Scheme? And it is very important because it is started by the, or it is funded by the United Nations, and it is started by the National Rural Health Mission of Uttar Pradesh. It means that take-home ration will now be manufactured and supplied by the women self-help group, women self-help groups of the Uttar Pradesh. Now it will generate the maximum to maximum revenue to the women's and the National Rural Livelihood Mission. So it will create the empowerment of the women, and it will also enhance the ability of the women in the state. So it is the Uttar Pradesh who started this take-home ration scheme, and it is funded by the United Nations World Food Program, and the take-home ration will now be manufactured and supplied by the women self-help group. So it is only for the women, to empower the women. Which state government decided to reintroduce Deen Dayal Annatodaya Rasoi scheme? It is very important scheme, but due to lack of funds, Madhya Pradesh government disposed of this scheme. It means they just closed this scheme due to lack of funds, but now they again started this type of scheme under this Rasoi scheme or Annatodaya Rasoi scheme. Very much low value, that is 5 rupees or the 10 rupees thali is provided to the poor people, so that they can eat nutritious food under this Deen Dayal Annatodaya Rasoi scheme, and it is reintroduced by the Madhya Pradesh government. Move to next question. Which state government won the WSIC World Summit on the Information Society winner prize under the e-government category? It means the scheme of the government is very well established and very much implemented, very well implemented by the state government. So it is started, or this award is given to the West Bengal. Remember this, this award given to the West Bengal, mark under very important section. All the state news are very important because there is a scheme, there is a platform launched by the state government. So that's why these are important. Which state government won the WSIC? That is the World Summit on the Information Society winner prize under 2000. That is the West Bengal. The scheme name is Sabuj Sathi scheme. That is known as the Sabuj Sathi scheme. Under the Sabuj Sathi scheme, bicycles to the government school students from class 9 to 12 will be provided. And maximally these 9 to 12 years class students belongs to the girls area. So the girls will be provided these cycles. So the girls from economically and socially backward classes or the disadvantaged backgrounds and belongs to the class 9 to 12, then they will get these bicycles provided by the West Bengal government. And so this will also increase the mobility of the students, which resulted in the increase in the enrollment in the high schools by 12%. So it is very important because the schools are very far away from the home. So that's why they also build the schools nearby home, and they can use the bicycle to go to home. So go to school and go back to home. So this is very much important because it will also increase the enrollment in the schools. So this is launched by the West Bengal government, and this scheme won this award, that is WSIC award. Move to next question. Which state government signed a memorandum of understanding with National Cooperative Development Corporation to promote and manage the farmer producer organizations? So what are the function of the farmer producer organization? So there are so many functions which are comes under the farmer producer organization. They provide training and guidance to the small and the marginal farmers, so they can tackle the hurdles in the production, quality, quantity, any type of problem farmers are facing. They can be reduced by these farmer producer organizations, and they also become a platform to tie up the buyers and the growers. So this is also a platform of the farmer producer organization. So any grower can attach to the farmer producer organization, and buyer can come to the farmer producer organization, so they can purchase or sell the quantity of the food or the crops from the farmer producer organization. And this state is the Odisha, who want to enhance these farmer producer organization. Naveen Patnaik is the chief minister. Very important state, Odisha, remember this. Moving to next question. Which state government launched Garima Social Security Scheme for the sanitary worker? This is very important. Garima scheme. Garima scheme is very important, guys. Remember this scheme. This is also launched by the Odisha government. This is only for the sanitary workers. Only for the sanitary workers. And around 50 crore rupees fund is allocated for this sanitary worker scheme Garima by the Odisha government. So what comes under the Garima scheme? The working hours of the sanitation worker reduced to 6 hours per day. Earlier it was 8 hours per day, but now it reduced to 6 hours per day. The core sanitation workers and their family members will be covered under the health insurance scheme with regular health checkups, housing, educational support, mobility sports and the mobile sport. Everything will be provided to the sanitary workers under the Garima scheme. And under the Garima scheme, they also providing the financial assistance if they want to build house or if they want to buy any vehicle. There is a 90% of assistance will be provided by the state government of Odisha if they want to buy or want to construct a house or want to buy a vehicle. So this is by the Odisha government to the sanitary workers. So this is very important, and very much things are provided to the sanitary workers. Next scheme is the which union territory announced universal health coverage insurance scheme for all residents of the UT. So this is very important because under the Atam, you can say under the Ayushman Bharat scheme, only those families are covered which are scheduled caste, scheduled tribes or the below poverty lines. But this union territory announced that this scheme, universal health coverage scheme on the lines of Ayushman Bharat scheme, will cover all the residents of the UT. So this is very new, and it is started by the Jammu and Kashmir. So remember this. The Ayushman Bharat scheme is now for all the residents of the UT, not for a SC, ST, below poverty line or the deprived section. It is for all the residents of the UT. Which state launched YSR Asra scheme for women entrepreneurship? I already told you, if there is a YSR, then it means that is YS Jagmohan Reddy, and YSR Asra means it is started by the Andhra Pradesh. So it means the YSR Asra scheme for women empowerment or the women entrepreneurship, it is started by the Andhra Pradesh government. So what will cover under this scheme? Under this scheme, the Andhra Pradesh government will reimburse outstanding bank loans of women self-help groups. It means if there are any loan pending in the banks of the any self-help group, women self-help group, then it will be reimbursed by the Andhra Pradesh government in 4 installments. So all the loans will be reimbursed if they are taken on or after 11 April 2019. Then all the loans will be transferred to the bank accounts of the women self-help groups. They can use whatever they like. So this will empower the women, and this will enhance the capability of the women to invest in the other departments also. This will also encourage the women entrepreneurship and the empowerment. So this state is the Andhra Pradesh, again YSR Asra scheme. Moving to next question, which state government launched My Family, My Responsibility campaign to tackle COVID-19? And the full name of the scheme is the Balasaheb Thackeray My Family, My Responsibility campaign. So it means this state is the Maharashtra, and Chief Minister is Uddhav Thackeray launched this scheme, that is My Family, My Responsibility. So this is type of a campaign actually. The campaign aims to motivate the maximum number of people to adopt a new lifestyle for effective COVID-19 control, and also aims to reach people before the virus reaches them. So it will be launched by the BMC, that is the Mumbai Municipal Corporation, and it comes under the scheme of the COVID-19 reduction system. So it means the areas comes under the BMC, they will be covered under this scheme, and BMC Public Health Department will reach out to every family in the area and will check the citizens for COVID-19 symptoms and will provide medical help and the guidance if needed. So, so there are 2 things under the My Family, My Responsibility campaign. One is the to change the lifestyle according to the COVID-19 problem, and to check all the citizens of that BMC area so that they can provide it with the best medical help. So it is started by the Maharashtra. Move to next question. Where is the foundation stone of Arun Jaitley Memorial Sports Complex laid? This is very important, guys. It is laid in the, yes guys, Jammu Kashmir, and it is laid in the Hiranagar area. So Hiranagar district of the Jammu Kashmir will get the Arun Jaitley Memorial Sports Complex. So remember this is the first time in India that any type of memorial sports complex named with the Arun Jaitley. So remember this also. So this is all for the state news. Next we are moving to the obituaries. What is the name of the father of India's radio astronomy who recently passed away? That is very important. Just remember this, father of India's radio astronomy. And the answer is Govind Savroop. This is very important that Govind Savroop recently passed away. He is the father of India's radio astronomy. He was also the president of the Astronomical Society of India from 1975 to 1977. Just remember, father of India's radio astronomy is the Govind Savroop, who recently passed away. Moving to next question. Actor Jaya Prakash Reddy passed away. Just remember one thing about the Jaya Prakash, that he belongs to the Andhra Pradesh because his birthplace is the Kurnool district of the Andhra Pradesh, and he is a Telugu actor. He was Telugu actor. So actor Jaya Prakash was Telugu actor and recently passed away, belongs to Andhra Pradesh, Kurnool area. So there are 2 or 3 things you have to remember this. Moving to next question, that is the James Bond or Avenger star, that is the Diana Rigg died. So this is very important news. Remember the name of the person, that is the Diana Rigg. She was the old star of Avengers, which was released in 1965, and she was also stars of the James Bond series, the name of the movies of the James Bond, in which she was starer. On Her Majesty Secret Service, that was released in 1969, that was James Bond series, and she was a star cast of this film, that is the Diana Rigg. So remember the name of the Diana Rigg. She belongs to England, so this is also to remember, England. Move to next question, and it is very important, mark under important section. Renowned social activist and former former state minister of the Haryana area, or you can say Haryana state, Swami Agnivesh passed away. So this is very important. He was Arya Samaji, and he was a famous personality of the Arya Samaj, and that's why Swami Agnivesh personality is very important for our question. He was also the president of World Council of Arya Samaj. So this is very important, and he also belongs to the Andhra Pradesh. Also belongs to Andhra Pradesh. Next, former Union Minister Raghuvansh Prasad Singh passed away. Very important. Even Modi ji paid tribute to Raghuvansh Prasad Singh ji. He was Union Minister of Rural Development from 2004 to 2009. That is the first regime of Manmohan Singh government from 2004 to 9, and he passed away. He was very remembered because of the 2005 MG Narega, because MG Narega was implemented in 2005, and he was rural minister at that time. So his role was main for the implementation and for the working of the National Rural Employment Guarantee Act. So he was served as the Union Minister of Rural Development. He was also a Lok Sabha member, and he was a Lok Sabha member from the Vaishali state, Vaishali area of the Bihar. So remember this also. He died due to COVID-19. Raghuvansh Prasad Singh. Remember the name Raghuvansh. Moving to next section, that is the important days, and here is our first day, that is the International Literacy Day, that is celebrated on 8th of September 2020. What is the theme of the International Literacy Day? That is the literacy, teaching and learning in the COVID-19 crisis and beyond, because maximum schools are not working in the COVID-19 condition. That's why the theme is literacy, teaching and learning in the COVID-19 crisis and the beyond. So moving to our next question, and which day is celebrated as the Himalaya Day or the Himalayan Divas? So Himalayan Day or the Himalayan Divas, it is celebrated on the 9th September. It was started first in the 2015, because in 2014 the Chief Minister of Uttarakhand, Harish Rawat ji, started this type of the day. So firstly it was celebrated in 2015. It is just to create and spread awareness on the conservation of the Himalayan ecosystem. So this is very important. That is the 9th of September. So moving to our next question. That is the World Suicide Prevention Day. It was not important before the Sushant Singh death, but it is now important because of the Sushant Singh death. That is the World Suicide Prevention Day. Theme is the working together to prevent suicide. So there is a need of someone at the time of the suicidal thinking. If you have someone, then you can delete this type of thinking, that is the suicide thinking. So that's why the theme is the working together to prevent suicide. That is celebrated on the 10th of September. So remember this. Move to next question. National Forest Martyrs Day. National Forest Martyrs Day on the 11th September 2020. So why this day is celebrated? It is just to pay tribute to those who have sacrificed their lives in order to protect the environment, forest and the wildlife across the country. So there is a Khejari massacre in which the people just want to save the trees, but the ruler want to cut the trees. So while protecting the trees, many people died. So it is just to pay the tribute to those persons who sacrificed their lives in order to protect the environment, forest and the wildlife across the country, and it is celebrated on 11th of September 2020. What is the theme of the World First Aid Day 2020? And you have to just answer that also, that when is the World First Day celebrated? First Aid Day. First aid is very important if you want to save the person, and if you know how to provide the first aid, then you can save the life of that person. So first aid is very important. So there is no fixed day of the celebration of the World First Aid Day. It is just celebrated on the second Saturday of the September. Second Saturday of the September, and it falls on the 12th September. That's why it was celebrated in 2020 on the 12th September. And what is the theme of this day? I already told you, the first aid saves life. First aid saves life. So I already told you that if you know how to give the first aid, then you can save maximum lives. So this is the main theme of the World First Aid Day, that is the first aid saves life. Move to next question, that is the Hindi Divas, that is on the 14th September 2020, because on the 14th September Hindi was added in the 22nd you can say 8th schedule of the constitution, and in 1949 14th September Hindi was added as a scheduled language, that is the 8th schedule of the constitution. That's why on the 14th September Hindi Divas is celebrated. So next question is the appointment and resignation. Just remember the question as I am marking that who become the brand ambassador of the player sport in new gaming destination. There are two players. One is the women cricket player, that is the Samriti Mandana, and there is a very best bowler of India, that is the Bhuvneshwar Kumar. So remember these two players, that is the who become the you can say brand ambassador of the player sport in new game destination, that is Samriti Mandana and the Bhuvneshwar Kumar. Who is elected as a new president of All India Tennis Association? Remember this, that is the Anil Jain, who was also a BJP president, that was the Anil Jain. He become the new president of All India Tennis Association. Moving to next question. Finance Ministry constitute expert committee on Rajiv Maharishi. Why I included this question? Because Rajiv Maharishi is very important person. He was a former finance secretary. He was very important personality for India. He was also served as a under the Secretary of Home and the Secretary of Finance, so a very key person. So now a new committee was formed for the loan moratorium concern, because banks charged interest on interest. That's why there is a concern over the loan moratorium. So Ministry of Finance formed a committee for the loan moratorium under the chairmanship of the Rajiv Maharishi. So remember this person, Rajiv Maharishi. Moving to next question. Ayushman Khurrana appointed celebrity advocate for the children's right campaign UNICEF. So you have to remember just one thing. It is for the children's right campaign because of the COVID-19 maximum children's deprived from their rights because they are at home and they are not under the any education system. So that's why UNICEF appointed Ayushman Khurrana to advocate the children rights in the India. So it is just for the regional level, for the Indian level only. So you remember UNICEF. Moving to next question. Who is appointed as a member of WHO panel for pandemic preparedness? WHO recently prepared a panel for the pandemic preparedness, and there is a one Indian member also there, that is the Preeti Sudan. So remember the name Preeti Sudan. Move to next question. Who is appointed as the chairman of National School of Drama? Very important question, and it will 100% come in the IBPS exam. Mark this question under very important section, and the answer is Presh Rawal. Presh Rawal, guys. And before that, Ratan Thiam was the chairman, but this chair was very much vacant from the last 3 to 4 years. Now Presh Rawal become the chairman of National School of Drama. Now next we are moving to the science and tech section, and there is a first question. Northrop Grumman Corporation, that is the Northrop Grumman, has named its next Cygnus spacecraft NG-14 as. So there is a space organization, Northrop Grumman, who recently named his Cygnus spacecraft as the name of the SS Kalpana Chawla. So remember this, SS Kalpana Chawla, that original name of the spacecraft is NG-14, but now they renamed it as SS Kalpana Chawla. So it is the company of the Northrop Grumman Corporation. Ministry of Road Transport and Highways conducted the 2 days orientation and training program on which app? So it is very important app, that is known as the IRAD app. So when road accident took place, police, health and other departments work differently, but now when police is coming, then they can upload the database on the road accident database application. Health department also can upload the data on this app, and other departments also can upload, so that all the data can be integrated and assessed at the same time, so that police don't have to visit the, no need to visit the hospital, no need to visit the other department. They just can can see the all the data on this app, that is the IRAD app. So it is started by the Road Transport and Highways. There are just demos are going on in the 6 states in which Uttar Pradesh, Himachal Pradesh are there, but it will be implemented all over pan India. So it is the IRAD app. So remember this, road accident database. So moving to the next section, that is the sports section, and this is the very first news. Which Wushu player silver medal at 2019 World Championship upgraded to gold medal? This is very interesting news, that in 2019 World Wushu Championship held in China, and the winner was Mariam, and she belongs to Iran. But she failed in her dope test report. That's why her gold medal shifted to the silver medal winner, and silver medal winner belongs to India and it means silver medal shifted to the or upgraded to the gold medal, and this gold medal won by the Poonam Khatri. So you have to remember this Poonam Khatri awarded with the gold medal, but in 2019 she won the silver medal, but gold medal winner founded negative in the dope test, positive in the dope test. That's why there is a news that Poonam Khatri upgraded to the gold medal. So remember this. Move on to next. Who won the US Open 2020 men's single? This is very important news. 2000 US Open 2020 men's single, and it is won by the Dominic Thiem. Remember, he belongs to the Austria, and Dominic Thiem won this award. Now, who won the US Open 2020 women's singles? And this is again very important. It won by the Naomi Osaka. Remember this, Naomi Osaka belongs to Japan. So you can see here, men's single Dominic Thiem, women's single won by the Naomi Osaka. You can see here the men's doubles and the women doubles also. Next news, who won the Tuscan Grand Prix, maximum Grand Prix in 2020? There are, I think, 9 Grand Prix, and out of 9, 7 are won by this Lewis Hamilton. Remember, this Mercedes-Benz player, that is Lewis Hamilton, won this Tuscan Grand Prix. He also won Belgian Grand Prix. That is the 89th and the 90th title of the Lewis Hamilton. Very important. Thank you guys for watching this weekly video. I think you understand all the news, you revised all the news, because in detail I already discussed in the daily section, but now we cover all the quiz section and the very important news is. If you like the video, then please subscribe this channel, and please guys give us 300 likes so that we can make videos on the more stable content. And it is Affairs Cloud promise, it will boost your general awareness section, and it is my personal promise, if you watch the video for 1 month regularly, and if you are reading our PDFs, then no question will be wrong in your exam. All the current affairs you will mark right. And thank you for watching this video. Take care.